particularly a running back. But like what I think is going to happen this year is I think we're going to get another receiver, and I think at some point we're going to trade Najee away. Because he's just, I mean, if we can get some decent value out of him, because he's just, I mean, what in all honesty, what do you think he does for our team? I mean, he provides depth, but
well, it's an interesting situation for sure because a guy like Najee, who was originally a big back, strong, big, full, like he could just plow through like any line, he could get ripped through any tackle. He definitely has a lot of wear and tear on his thigh, and his legs. Like he's got all of that going for him. But now it's like he's smaller, so it's like you think that he would be a little more agile, he'd be a little quicker. But Jaylen Warren, he's just a little shorter. I think he's like what 5'9", 5'10", if he's that tall. Like, and he's just flies. He is one of the zippiest little guys. Like for his size and how big he is, like it's so amazing how he can just go. Like you see where he's at and he's down the field. Like it's hard to really get anything on him. And then of course you got this Cordell Patterson. I mean, that guy is going to be, it's going to be a very big factor. I mean, you have three essential great running back options on your team. So your RB3, I mean, he will be used. It's definitely going to be a system that, does it feature Najee or does it feature Jalen? Does it feature Cordell? Because again, he was once a Falcon. I mean, it's not a coincidence that Arthur Smith brought him in. I know that it's like the guys that can do things. And in the system with these guys, with this whole, like they have the whole plan ready to actually do something. I don't think the Falcons, I mean, they have the players, but it's like I don't know if they have the division or like the NFC, like how it looks. Like, are they going to get in? I don't know. I mean, they definitely would have to win their division for me to think that they're going to get into any type of playoff situation. But for the Steelers, we could be a wild card team or we could win our division. Now, that's the thing about this too. Like you say, like the Steelers are not ready. I don't know, dude. I look at the AFC North and yes, it's always going to be a defensive, like driven division. Like that's what we're always famous for. All four teams will always have great defenses. But if you look at like offenses, I mean, yeah, Joe Burrow's back, but is he 100%? I don't think he is. And Lamar Jackson, he has his MVP. He's got his deal. And then it's like you look around and he has 2-3 options between Mark Andrews and I want to say what is their number one wide receiver for the Ravens?
In the Ravens?
Yes.
I don't recall right now.
Yeah.
I know Hollywood Brown's not there anymore. I
was going to say Marquise Brown. It's like, no, I know he's not there. Is Odell Beckham still a Brown or is he? No, he's a Dolphin. He's a Dolphin now, isn't he?
Oh, is he? Okay.
I think he is. Yeah, I mean, so it's like the Browns don't. I think they have probably the more potent offense.
Pretty much their number one.
Zay Flowers, yeah. So I mean, that's a great option. But I mean, if it's just it between George Pickens and Zay Flowers, who are you picking?
Between who?
George Pickens and Zay Flowers. Who are you picking?
Yeah, I would take George Pickens for sure.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's like that's their only option, but if it's between our best option and their best option, I know which one I'm going with, regardless of what Lamar Jackson is capable of. This division is very good. It's going to be interesting to see them, how they handle themselves offensively this year. I know it's going to be low scoring games, but it's like, how well can they score? And I know that, again, between the tight ends, running backs, and George Pickens, I really feel comfortable with what they have right now to get through the first half of the season. But for the second half, dude, they are going to have to go and get a DK. They're going to have to go and get somebody like Jefferson. Like, who knows what the Vikings are going to look like halfway through the season? Justin Jefferson could all of a sudden be very, very available. And then you watch how Omar Khan will just basically be like, you're not getting an extension. You're not getting an extension. No one's getting touched because we need this wide receiver to get through the season. That's the thing about this. We are now seeing where the Steelers are without the deal that Ayuk has made. Now it's like everyone's talking about, well, now here comes the extensions. Here comes Pat's extension. Here comes Cameron Hayward's extension. Everyone's going to have to get paid because I know a lot of guys need like their extended deals. Like they're still on the team no matter what, but you think they'd want to get this stuff taken care of by this start of the season. So I would be surprised if we don't hear at least one of those guys getting like a 2, 3, 4 year deal, and the money I would not know. I just know that the Steelers are probably getting ready to make some moves to secure some of these players. But yeah, we're talking at the second half of the season, we should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5-3, 6-2 at the worst. Like if we're talking like how good we are as a team, that should be where we are halfway through the season. And then when trade deadline comes, that seems like that would be right there to acquire someone. And that's when I think they're going to make the big move.
Yeah, this schedule is really exciting. I'm going through the schedule right now, but yeah, just talk about Najee. He's not very quick. They've actually showed highlights of him. He almost looks like he's running in slow motion. And you got Jalen. We got Cordell now too, but I just think that we may be able to trade him at some point, get some value out of him. Maybe trade him for a receiver of some sort. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we traded Najee at some point. But we also
he'd be great in Seattle. He would be wonderful in there.
Yeah, it would just be nice to. We would also need another running back. I think it's sometime soon in the next couple of years. We're probably going to take a running back in the draft. We may even go high with one. We'll see. We do have quite a few coming up. I mean, you got a ton in college right now. Penn State has 2 of them. Penn State could potentially have a couple more after that with Cam Wallace.